Boy, what a song at number 33. Actually, number 22. Up 11 from 33 on my fantasy playlist of May the 8th, 2022. It's a beautiful record. I Want to Dance for Love. Dance for Love. That's the name of the song. Zella Day on my fantasy playlist. Never heard of her. But there was a big write-up about her in Wikipedia. Didn't have any problems at all finding any information about her whatsoever. And there was an article, came across an article about her. But no information on this song, though. It's coming up on her new album, though, called Sunday in Heaven. That's the name of the album. Track 3 on Sunday in Heaven. I don't know when the album's going to come out. It might have already came out. I didn't get a date on it. But it's supposed to come out sometime here in 2022. And welcome aboard. This is Dean Kirk. Back on the countdown of my fantasy playlist. What I like about this record. Oh, I love the opening drums. It just blows this song wide open. That's your hook right there. One of your hooks right there. It just leads you right into the song, boy. Down the Primrose Lane, straight to pop heaven, this record. Want to Dance for Love. Zella Day, she's from Arizona. She's based in California, but she grew up in a small town in Arizona called Pine Top, Lakeside. That sounds like sort of an ideal place. A lot of tourists. I believe it's kind of a resort town. Very small. Population of about 4,000, I think, 4 to 5,000. Her parents ran a cafe and an art space center and drew all kinds of people, maybe sort of a bohemian crowd of sorts that helped stimulate Zella Day's interest in music. Her parents owned a vast collection, a big collection of the singer-songwriting music artists from back in the day, and that probably stimulated her interest in music as well. Her mom, now get this, her mom encouraged her to play the guitar. 9 years old, she started learning how to play the guitar, learn how to songwrite. That's kind of cool that her parents did that, because a lot of parents, they don't support their offspring's interest in music, partly because it's not considered practical, but it seems to be working out for her quite well so far from what I've read, from what I've researched. When she was in high school, as a matter of fact, when she was in high school, she released her debut album. It was an independent album, though. Independent, but it's still an album just the same, called Powered by Love. Then she moved to Los Angeles. She covered a version. She did a version of White Stripes' Seven Nation Army. I'm sure you remember that one. That was a big one back in the summer of 2003. She covered that. Got a lot of hits on that record on YouTube. 50 million streams on Spotify. It was featured on a BBC Radio 1 program. Can't remember the DJ's name. Sane Low or something like that. It was played on his show, Seven Nation Army. And she adopted, I guess she was folksy maybe a little bit when she first started out. I haven't heard all of her songs. This is the only song I've heard by her. Oh, God, I love the spoken parts. That's one of the things that drew me. This song has got so much charisma in it. So much charisma. The spoken parts, it just swooned over the spoken parts of the record. Well, anyway, her first single, Sweet Ophelia, that came out in 2014, she put out an EP on an indie label that was based in California. Her first full-length studio album was Kicker. That was in 2015, and by then she had got a major record deal with Hollywood Records. She toured Fits and the Tantrums. Yeah, she toured with Fits and the Tantrums. Money Grabber. And Out of My League, I think, was another song that they did. Fits and the Tantrums. They're from California too. Boy, they had a great sound. And she toured later on with Michael Franti and Spearhead. And I believe she did a couple of tours with Lana Del Rey as well. Now, 2019, well, get this. She switched record labels. She met Dan Arbuck, or maybe Dan Arbuck had, maybe he discovered her or something or whatever. Well, bottom line is, she signed up to Dan Arbuck's record label, Easy Eye Sound. This was around 2019. Dan Arbuck of the Black Keys. And mentioned Dan Arbuck before as in the video that I talked about the blues man Robert Finley, that he produced his last album or something like that. So he's been very busy. Well, now he produced an album by Zella Day. It was, actually the EP was called Where Does the Devil Hide? And she's got a song on there called People are strangers. Now, here's the deal about this record. I'm going to get into the brass tacks on this record. Dance for Love. Dance for Love is about just finding a new love, a boyfriend who's bringing her so much joy. And the clues of this record comes from a record she did a few years ago called People Are Strange. And she wrote the song People Are Strangers or People Are Strange. She wrote it on a bathroom floor. She just wrote it there. She had just found out something really horrible, or well, sort of a, I'm trying to think of the right word and I can't think of it right now. This is on candid camera. Oh, it's so embarrassing when you can't come up with the right words. She found out something about her boyfriend she didn't know about. Something that was not very pleasant. An unpleasant truth, unpleasant reality, and that really threw a loop at her. Threw a loop at her big time. She wrote the song, People Are Strangers, but when she wrote it, she displayed that inner beauty of hers came out. She displayed compassion and empathy towards him. So I think this record right here, Dance for Love, is about finding somebody else, a new boyfriend who's, or perhaps who's filled a void in her life. I got the lyrics up. I'm going to read you a few of the lyrics. If I can bring up the lyrics, let's see if I can bring up the lyrics to it real quick. I had it all. Here we go. I do the quote unquote. I'm going to get to this. This is the singing part right here. Now, one thing that stands out about this record, one of the things that makes this record really neat to listen to, she changes key. She sings a sort of a, I guess sort of a semi-high-pitched voice when she's singing the first, but then when she goes to the spoken part, her voice becomes huskier, but then, well, let me read you a few of the lyrics right here. Quote unquote, he doesn't know it, quote, he doesn't know it. It's how I show him I care. Moving my body, throwing my hands in the air. And then here she goes into that spoken part, that lovely spoken part, part one. I looked around to make sure nobody saw me crying, because if he were here right now, he would look at me and he would say, and then her voice lifts up like a rocket ship into a higher level. He would say, I want to just dance for love. And later on, that's the first spoken part. And then she sings, I just love to read this out to you. I don't know if I should say this or not. I think I almost cried when I read the lyrics, when I actually sat down and read the lyrics for the first time this morning. But anyway, quote unquote, this is the another verse. I remember last summer, I spent it crying most of the time. That's probably referencing the boyfriend she found out the unpleasant truth about. Now he's lifting the fog about her new boyfriend or new love or whatever. Now he's lifting the fog. The stage lights come on. I'm the star of the show. Well, he doesn't know it. It's how I show him I care, moving my body, throwing my hands in the air. And then here comes the spoken part again. I went for a walk down Franklin Avenue. I knocked on a door. It used to be his door, but that don't matter no more, because I got everything I need right here. Boys, her voice is floating above, hallelujah. Just a state of bliss, celebration, floating above seventh heaven. Seventh heaven. This is some inner beauty right here in this song. This is one beautiful soul that comes out, one beautiful soul that's in love. I know that sounds cheesy, but you know, I'm in a cheesy mood anyway. Well, anyway, the song, let's talk about the formats for this record. Get back down. God, I still love those spoken parts of the song. It's killer. She really did it good on that. But the formats of this record: pop, adult contemporary, alternative, possible alternative, adult alternative. Bottom line, mass appeal record. It is a buzz-worthy record. It's a mass appeal hit. That's all there is to it. Enough said. Number 22 on my fantasy playlist, May 8th, 2022. Dance for Love by Zella on my fantasy playlist, brought to you by Dean Kirk. Take care.